came up short today. Feels like I hell 1,000 times. Nothing but doubt.
I just think that concerns of the backside are critical, because if you're having
The backside being, are we talking about the one's hindquarters?
yes,
The rear end?
because if things are not proper back there, nothing else in your
Right.
life is okay.
That is true.
Right.
If things that is actually very true. If your brain decides that area has a situation, that is the only thing you care about right then. Doesn't
Thank you.
matter.
Thank you.
Whatever else is happening, your body's like, yeah, no, you're dealing with this
Right.
now. I don't care if you're giving a speech to Parliament.
That's
Right now,
exactly
this is
correct.
happening.
Right. So Mrs. Vanguard, and I have a debate
I want
because
to know where this is going.
I know, because I'm taking the proper care very seriously. So I have a bidet seat.
Of course.
Right. Thank you. As you know, most other
As
civilized
everyone should.
most other civilized nations have, right? Like, seriously. And she's
right,
like,
because instead of just wiping dryness away with dry paper, you're actually
thank you.
using water and soap like you would, with your hands.
Yes. So I had to perform the function the other day, and Mrs. Vanguard was using the bathroom where the bidet seat is, and I said, "Hey, I have to partake," and she's like, "We have 2 other bathrooms. You don't need your fancy space seat to do it." You know what I mean?
Like,
it was
no,
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, I need right there is where I need to be." You know what I mean? This kind of thing.
Well, I mean, in some cases you have to, you're gonna have to slum it. You can't always,
I know.
bidet
It's
is
tough.
not available.
I'm spoiled now. It's tough.
Like, but I mean, sometimes you're gonna be in a hotel, or you're not gonna be in.
I know.
You're gonna have to just use regular indoor plumbing,
Horrible.
like us,
The plebes.
commoners.
Like the commoners, the common people.
Yeah, like the plebes thing. Yeah.
I'm telling you, you would never have. Do you have one at home?
A bidet? No, I want one, and it's been vetoed.
You've been vetoed by Mr. Greenpants. Understood. We both have similar struggles then, but I'm telling you, you will never be more clean.
I had one in Europe.
Oh,
So
there you go. Exactly. There you go. There you go.
It was a little weird, the transition back a little bit.
Oh, sure.
It was the transition was weird to getting there, but then once you did that transition, transitioning back sucked.
Yeah.
And so I can understand what you mean.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because after a while, you're kind of like, why don't we always do this? Like, why does it work any other way?
Thank you. So if you get to that point where you're able to convince her, I have model recommendations for you. They have it's called the it's got multiple settings. It's got the basic wash, power wash, Uber wash, and oh dear God, you're gonna hit the ceiling level.
Power wash.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there a way that you could manipulate it so that it stimulates the clitoris? Because if that could happen, maybe I could sell it.
Right. It's like, you know what? Yes. Because it has front and back function.
Oh, okay. So
for cleaning girl areas.
Will it work? So, will it perform similarly to like how a shower nozzle will, that you can take, kind of a thing?
I'm telling you, dude. Lord help you if you hit that button accidentally and you're sitting on there. You are gonna power wash the back of your testicles, and it will not be pleasant.
You know what? My taint's been through worse.
Nah,
I don't know.
It's a thing.
I mean, it depends. I mean, we'll see. I'll try the setting, but first I gotta.
And the model I have too also it has a tank inside it, so it pre-warms the water, so it's warm water. So.
Oh my God, I am so envious. Yes,
amazing.
You live the perfect life.
I live a charmed existence. It's a charmed existence.
Yes. When it comes to your asshole, it's like fucking chef's kiss perfect.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I mean, I love that for you.
Yeah.
I love that for all of us, but
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. But we're live, by the way.
Hi everybody.
But thank you for praising my.
Hope you
backside.
guys want like bidets too.
I appreciate your appreciation of my backside and the care thereof.
I appreciate you, and with you
as
comes your backside.
You.
Just
yes.
by
it's
it
all
just does. But I don't delineate, between parts. So
thank you.
I love the bidet for you. I know I would love it for me.
Love it for you.
But One day.
One day.
One
That day will
we'll see.
come, but it's not this day.
Yeah. It
This-
is not this day.
This day we answer questions, and as
Right.
usual, we
This
have
day we help people.
curated
Is what we do.
5 questions from our viewers, carefully selected through our screening process that only Green Pants knows the
Carefully.
magic formula to. But I trust his methodologies, and we're gonna do that. So, and again, anyone who's just hopping in,
I
we
tried
welcome.
to be
Yes,
egalitarian
yes.
and
Everyone should
and-
get a chance.
and pull from a range of things because there are many people out there that need our help,
Yes.
and we can only do so much in a given episode. So, we're gonna do 5, and then but all we can do is just keep going at this, and eventually we will solve everything. But it's gonna take 5 questions at a time.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's incremental, right? But that progress clearly is going to show that we eventually will solve the world's problems.
Right. I mean, that's just mathematically how it would work.
Certainty, actually.
Yeah.
If you're familiar, those of you familiar with calculus, if you take the limit of 1 over number of questions asked as it approaches infinity, equals problem solved.
Everyone watching just fell asleep.
I just
I think because I literally just passed out for a second, and then I don't know. You said 1, and then I was like, then I saw the light of the camera again. I was like, whoa, I'm here.
Nerded out.
So-
I might have nerded out a little bit. All right, that's fine. Let's get to our first
Um,
question. Our first question comes from Fairbanks, Alaska. We have Gordon from Fairbanks,
Nice.
Alaska. Awesome, Fairbanks. Gordon asks, my fiance and I have been together for 3 years. I proposed 6 months ago. I thought we were really happy. Oh boy. But last night, after a deep conversation, my fiance admitted that she has never been physically attracted to me. She says she loves me
Ugh.
deeply, respects me, and sees a future with me, but the physical attraction just isn't a big deal to her. I feel like I just got punched in the gut. I always assumed there was at least some attraction. Now I don't know what to think. Am I setting myself up for disaster? Can a marriage work even without physical attraction? Asked Gordon.
Oh, okay.
Gordon.
This is an interesting one. I guess my question would be like, do you guys have sex? Like, is that a thing?
That's
Like,
exactly
is there
what I
a
was gonna-
physical component? Because I
know.
I guess it only matters if you want it to matter, or I mean, it all depends upon your expectations in the relationship
Right.
and stuff.
Right.
So,
And Gordon, we did need
I mean-
Green Pants is hitting it on the head. We needed critical information here. Do you have a physical relationship with this woman currently? So
Right.
when you are having sex with her, does she do you notice that she closes her eyes really tight and prays for it to be over? Or
right,
do you just not have sex? You know?
right, or
So-
is she just not interested in sex at all because she's asexual,
Right.
and so she doesn't even really consider physical attraction because she's not wired that way.
Correct.
Totally different thing where it's
Right.
like she kind of doesn't know what you're talking about versus
Right.
does she have other people that she is attracted to?
Right.
You know,
I'm hot for other guys, just not you. That's a different
would you
answer
be more
than
like those guys,
Right.
you know?
That's a different answer
Gordon.
than Gordon. That's a different answer than I'm not just physically attracted in general because I'm an asexual person.
Right.
So
Yeah, because I think the idea of setting yourself up for disaster is really dependent upon what the expectations are for the relationship. If the relationship is like, yep, we're just friends. I mean, we're friends and we don't touch each other or whatever, or
right.
we fuck through a sheet with a hole in the blanket.
Right.
I mean,
The
I don't
The
know.
Handmaid,
you
yeah.
know. Yeah. I
The
mean,
Handmaid.
it seems. I feel weird being like, yeah, you don't need physical attraction in a relationship. I
But
mean,
you
I
do.
think you do.
You're not-
and I think
Yes.
sometimes it comes just with the other stuff. Like there's some just people's other qualities can then just make someone attractive. Like I'm wondering what I'm saying is I'm wondering what his girlfriend means by she's not physically attracted to him. Like first of all, rude.
Right.
You fucking lie, man. Like that's.
Or at least
hell?
just say,
Come
hey,
on, Gordon.
Right.
You're in Alaska, Gordon's girlfriend. The
Right.
fuck.
Or at least say,
You know-
hey, I'm asexual and I'm just not physically attracted to other people. Say
Right.
that at least, right? Jesus.
Or just say yes because you're in Fairbanks, Alaska, and you know what?
Chickens are slim.
It's cold, and it's
They cuddle up.
I know it's one of the larger interior cities, but there's not
Yeah.
much there.
Yeah. This is when I'm gonna do a controversial
Oh, okay.
statement. I know it's true.
Are you gonna do a hot take?
No, it's not a hot take. It's a controversial stance, I think. And what that is
Okay.
if you claim you're in an intimate relationship without intimacy, or not in an intimate relationship, you have a friend.
Does intimacy necessarily have to be physical intimacy?
I knew you were
Because-
I knew you were gonna go there. I knew you were gonna go there.
Because it's the
yes.
proper question to ask.
Yes. Yes. I think otherwise you have a friend.
What about
Controversial.
like? No, okay, but can there be intimacy without sexual attraction?
Yes,
What?
I'll say yes to that.
Is that
Sure.
yeah? So I think if you can get the like if sex itself is not a big deal. I mean, because I guess it sounds. I'm curious what the physically attractive part is, because there are people who like older couples who haven't had sex in quite a long time but are still like intimate and hold each other's hands and are together and are
Right.
you know what I mean.
There's physical
it
intimacy
doesn't
in that
matter.
relationship. Legit.
Right. But I mean, and is it like still based on attraction? I mean,
Right.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because you're still intimately
hot,
touching someone, like
I mean, grandpa thinks grandma is.
and holding hands or holding the arm or back of the. I mean, you would prefer it from that person instead of someone else. You know what I mean? That is like an
Right.
exclusive intimacy, connection, desire.
But his girlfriend might be like, yeah, I'm fine with that. I just don't find you physically attractive.
So I just don't want your thing in me.
That's what I'm saying.
You need to
I think
establish this, Gordon. You need to
you
figure
nailed
this
it on
out.
that. We need more information.
We really do.
about. Okay, to all of our viewers,
Right.
when it comes to sex,
We need
more
details.
information.
We really do.
We need details,
Yes.
blood types if you have them.
I will
genetic
make it.
markers.
I will make it
all
fit on
helps.
this. I will make it fit on the screen below us. I swear to you, I will make it fit. But
Right,
we
he can
need,
do
we
it.
need those details.
I don't know how he does
have
it.
the technological capabilities, but we need those details. So now we have to do the what if game, which I know is like can be a bit pedantic,
Okay.
but like okay, if it is, I just don't want sex. She's asexual. She's okay with other kind of intimate contact, like touching, snuggling, cuddling, kissing. Then you, Gordon, need to decide if you are okay with that level of relationship, right? And
Right.
understanding that if you ever do have intercourse, that she's probably throwing you a bone, so to speak, and just sort of doing it for your benefit if it does happen. I
And
assume
can
if
you live with that?
and can you live with
Is
that
that
exactly?
like okay with you, or is that
Right.
because I mean, when you said you felt like you got punched in the gut, I get it. Like that
Right.
would be like I don't think I could be in a relationship where
think-
someone said that
Yeah.
but I mean
Yeah,
Vanguard and I don't know what that's like with the hordes of ladies, but
right.
I can imagine it would be really depressing and not something you very nice
Right.
to say to
But
someone.
here, so now I'm going to do some detective work. They've been together 3 years. He
Okay.
proposed 6 months ago. So I
Okay.
assume they've been having sex.
2.5 years in.
I assume they've been having sex. Right?
I would say normally you would assume that, but but all of a sudden her saying they're not physically attracted, it's like,
Which
Oh.
means
which
that
is
she's
why my
saying,
first question is, do you guys smash?
right?
What's up?
Or did you smash? That's what the young people call it. But I think
Yeah, I know. It's like I hear it more that way.
We
and
smash.
I'm
Like,
I'm
alright,
trying to
well,
adopt
you
the
call
kids'
it.
culture. Come on.
it was banging in our day, right? It was guys bang. But
I believe
anyway,
it was called fucking.
deep ball slapping.
It was
fucking.
called. I think my dad always called it raw dogging, which was weird. It coming from my father, but I mean that's one of the more antiquated kind of
That's what I tried to
an anachronistic kind of way to look at it.
Yeah.
Good old raw dog.
What was I gonna say, Gordon? Oh, it was the
I've said too much.
right. The worst case scenario, in my opinion, is that they have been having regular sex, and Gordon just found out she's been hating it every single time, and that she is attracted to
But
men, not just
Is
just
that
not
worse
him.
than
That's the
if
worst.
he hadn't had the sex at all? Because he still did have all of those orgasms.
If he never
not
had the
knowing.
sex, wait, what? No, if he didn't have
No,
sex or
what
did?
I'm saying is,
if he did,
you
oh,
said
he still had
worst case
orgasms.
scenario,
Right.
and I'm just
I
saying,
think that's the worst case scenario.
but like in the worst case scenario, he did have sex, which to me makes it not the worst case scenario. You see what I mean? Like if he,
Yes.
if they've been, if
Have
they've
you
been-
ever had sex with a woman who did not want to have sex? It is not a pleasant experience.
No, and no,
Okay.
I don't know what. That's an insane question.
Oh, why would someone ask that?
But
Yes.
what I'm saying is, if someone was in a relationship with someone and they hadn't gotten, they had not had sex yet,
Mm-hmm.
and they thought it was because like the time wasn't right, or maybe they were waiting for, and it turns out
Sure.
no, they just weren't physically attracted.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That would be the worst case scenario, where he's been like waiting,
Oh, I see.
and then
she
being
still
like,
doesn't want to have sex with
okay,
him.
And now she's like, oh no, I will never have sex with you because gross.
That's the relationship ender. If that's
yeah.
the case, that's the relationship ender, right?
Right.
I mean, I think there's no question.
You
But
know.
I think my scenario that I thought was worst case was the one too, where she was having sex with you for the past 3 years, hated it all the time, and doesn't want to have it with you again.
Right. I mean,
It's like-
knowing that information now, I mean, you still have, you know, what happened before, but like, yeah, it would, yes, that would be a
That'd be horrible.
absolute, that would be a,
Deal breaker, as they call that in the vernacular.
it would be a masculine, neck breaker there
Right.
with the, just
Especially
masculinity
if,
cracker,
especially
like
if
Thor's
she's-
hammer,
right?
like
Just
rips the
Mjolnir,
nuts.
Mjolnir falling right in your head.
Right.
Especially if she finds other guys
Stormbreaker.
attractive, right? If she finds other guys attractive, just not you. That is like the worst of the worst case scenario.
Right.
That's horrible.
Right.
Right.
Asexuality, at least you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, that, it's
Asexuality is the
not anybody.
best case scenario. All right, here's the summary.
Worst case scenario is she's attracted to literally
And everyone but
but
you.
you.
Right.
but you.
Right. Asexual is the best case scenario, and in that case, you need to decide if you are okay being asexual for the rest of your life, or get an arrangement. This is the modern century. Say, hey, if I go indulge my indulgences somewhere else, but we are still a partnership, are you okay with that? Right? And
Right.
say yes, and then you can get the best of both worlds. Right? So,
Strong agree.
oi. All right. Good. I'm glad we settled that.
All right, good luck, Gordon.
Good freaking luck, dude.
That's
Good
yeah.
Freaking luck. Okay, next one comes from. Oh, you know what? I was bragging about how I made it all fit in the screen, and this one barely doesn't fit on the screen. The Donovan from Santa Rosa, California. And
Alright.
Donovan says, I am a 25-year-old male, pretty tall, very
Nice.
good shape. All right, Donovan, settle down. I'm in a situation where I don't know what to do. I was messaged on Instagram by a very wealthy guy who wanted me to add him to my Snapchat. I did. He offered me $20,000 to come to his house, take my clothes off, and stand there flexing while he jerks off. Normally, I'd never entertain this, but I happen to have an acquaintance who was also approached by the same man, offered $6K for the same thing, and he accepted. My friend said it was very straightforward. He just went there, did exactly what I just mentioned. He gave me the money. It was all legit. Apparently, he's just a really well-off, lonely guy. $20K could literally pay off my entire student debt. Do I do it? Yes, I think yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Donovan. If there's one thing my grandmother made very clear to me,
Yeah.
it is use the gifts that you were given.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so there's no shame in taking part in the world's oldest profession. Absolutely do it, like 100%. Like that is, the gym memberships are almost impossible to cancel, so you might as well like get some of that money back for all
Leverage.
those crunches.
Yes.
Yeah, if you can, if some, because you're providing a service. I know it might seem weird, but if
Service.
you have a particular
Gift.
skill
Talent.
and
Feeling aspect.
I sort of what they call a je ne sais quoi,
So now,
um,
it's French.
little certain something,
Something.
that someone is willing to pay you 20 grand
Yes.
to just be naked and flex in front of them while they
Right. I actually read it wrong at first.
yank
I
it.
thought he wanted the guy to come and yank it in front of him.
No, that sounds like he just wants the guy to he
Right.
he literally wants
Which is
the guy
flex,
to just
which is
be
basically
a model for
nothing.
him.
It's like
Yeah,
a nothing.
yeah,
It's a
exactly.
nothing
That's why I
burger.
think this-
It's literally a
it-
nothing
it-
burger. It's like,
And I think it's more of like I think Donovan's issue here is the taboo and culture we have against like sex workers.
yes,
Like he's kind of like, I can't do it. I could never think about it. But it's like there really is no reason,
right.
really, why. Like if this guy has a whole lot of money and $20,000 doesn't mean that much to him, and this is
Right.
what it's like. Okay,
Always
I mean-
always separate rich people. Always separate stupid rich people from their money. That's the number one rule in life that I
right,
find.
exactly. Help get since we do not have a progressive tax system anymore.
Correct.
Like the way that we can do is everybody has side hustles
Right.
where you
Exploit
get
the rich.
what you can off you
Yes.
like
Exploit the rich whenever you
people
can.
who are stupid with their money.
Yes.
You
Indulge
know,
them in their stupidness.
Yeah, that's what Goop is. That website. Those are for people who will buy a Gwyneth Paltrow vaginal egg candle
Right.
for like $900, and
Boom.
they'll be like, "Yeah, okay, that's
Boom.
cool," because they don't care what $900. It doesn't mean it could be like 900 cents.
My-
It's not a
My big takeaway from this is this dude's buddy was only given 6K to do the same thing, and you're getting 20K. You are a winner,
Yeah.
my friend.
right.
You are a winner.
It sounds like it's like your buddy. I mean, he's worth only a little bit more than a quarter of you.
Right.
Like that's, I mean,
Like,
like
I like to see your
that's got to
biceps.
be right. I mean, that's got to make you feel good. That's
I
got
would.
to.
It would make me feel very good if I knew
It
that
would
was
warm
my
heart.
going
If
rate.
someone said, "Listen, if you just stood in front of me
Naked
and just like
and flax.
did this while I jerked off, and I will give you
I would-
$20,000."
Done
I
and
would be like,
done. It's like,
Thank you. I thank you for those kind
Yes.
words, and I will do that
Yes.
service for you
yes.
for $18,000. And I mean, 17 even.
There you
I
go.
think
I would.
50,
Yes.
$5.
Do it. $5.
Just have a
And-
hug. Make someone
and-
smile.
and a
Come
group
on.
and a Groupon.
And a Groupon, yes. It's a Groupon for Adam and Eve.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, dude.
Not a
Totally,
sponsor of this
totally
show.
do it. $20,000. Oh my god. And
Yes,
the great
yeah.
thing about this, nothing unlike traditional sex work, none of this is illegal. You can stand in front of
Right,
someone naked
exactly.
and pose. It's like,
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's
You're
for
not
instance,
even at a
total
legal
legit, like-
risk. It's like
Right. Like there's no chance this guy's a this isn't like a setup by the FBI or something, because there's no crime, there's no entrapment.
right,
Be like,
exactly.
I'm allowed to be naked, and this guy's allowed to give me money.
Right, exactly.
Like, those are
What I would
So-
recommend, however,
and
Yes, go
jerking
ahead.
off is allowed. So wait,
correct.
while jerking off is still allowed, we don't, and
While it is, as of today,
while it is,
wait,
for
let me check.
now,
Let me check.
we are still allowed to jerk
It
off
is still
in
allowed.
America,
It is still allowed
at least as of today.
at this moment.
think.
Yeah, it's still it's still yeah.
But- A lot of executive orders flying out the
It's
off
true.
Grizzly desk.
But here's a suggestion though: if he offers you anything to eat or drink, politely decline.
Absolutely, yes.
Safety first.
Absolutely, it's a fantastic point. Because I was thinking,
you may wake up in a precarious position if you drink something. you
like, would our advice be different if the request was the same,
I know where you're going with
but
this.
it was a female?
Boom!
Yeah,
there it
or-
is.
Right. Yeah. I'm just wondering. Like, I'm trying to, because I want to check like my
It is-
toxic masculinity.
Understood.
figure
And we're
out if
totally
my-
being toxically masculine, like I said. I'll go for some dude. I'm not worried. Whatever, right? Especially if this guy's like
But,
tall
no,
and
that's not being toxically. That's just being like, I will take that risk.
Yes.
Because
yes.
I'm.
And it's especially this dude. He's tall and he's jacked, right? So he's like, I'll just kick the guy's ass if he
Right.
tries anything, and I'll leave, right?
Like, I would
It's
never
like-
ever tell a woman, absolutely, you should do that. Like, it would,
Right.
but it's just like,
Right.
and
In
I'm
the-
saying for Donovan, I don't know
Yeah.
if it's toxic masculinity or being like, hey, Donovan,
just-
do whatever the fuck you want.
It's
Because
technically sexist,
Hey,
is
man.
what we're doing right now. We're being right now sexist. Proper word. Sexist. What I would do if I was a
To me-
woman, I would still do it. And I know it's easy for me to say because I'm a guy and I don't know what the lifelong experience of a woman was. But I could just say if I was instantly transforming a woman, some dude gave me $20K to get naked, I would do it. But I would bring a male friend to go with me. Super J just nailed
Right,
on
well,
that as well. Right.
And,
Girls
and,
never go
well,
on.
and that was going to be my thing is like I would not have. And that was my question, kind of about the sexism. Is for me it was more of like a safety thing, not a men versus women. It was more of like I wouldn't give that advice to a woman because I'd be like, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with this guy, but like, yeah, it is true. This guy Donovan, he's like, yeah, I'm a tall guy and in shape, and I'm going to go to this dude's house.
And
Yeah,
watch him
you
jack
probably
off,
have
right.
a lower risk situation
Right.
than if it wasn't. So it's like,
Right.
weighing that advice would be differently. But
Now, what
So-
about if this guy's like doing like a, I don't know, not necessarily blackmail, but like, what if he's got like hidden cameras filming it? You know what I mean?
Right,
Change
well, I
the-
mean, that's
does that
something
does that change the
that's a-
calculus? I mean, or is that just part of the risk?
I mean, yeah, I mean, you're taking that into account. I mean, you obviously should be, checking for that or whatever. But that is a risk that unless you've got a CIA device to be
Bug
able to check
sniffer,
for any
right,
sort of
exactly.
like audiovisual pickups.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and really going out and just being in public now, there's a chance you could be on YouTube forever. Like that just is because everyone is filming all of the time.
Right. Yeah, but I don't
That
think
is-
even in today's world, seriously, even in that case, like, oh, some dude posted me on YouTube naked with the bits grayed out on YouTube or whatever it is, right? Me would be standing there like a dork, right? It's like with the attention span of today's world, it's literally forgotten in 5 minutes. You know what I mean? It's like it really
Right.
wouldn't matter. It's
Well,
like
I'm trying to think of like blackmail. I'm like, well, that's like blackmail would be if you were like cheating on your wife or
Right.
something, that there was a consequence. But like if the blackmail was, I'm going to show everyone naked pictures of you, you're like, Fucking go ahead.
Right.
Like, I don't care.
Right.
Like, I don't give
But
a
again,
shit.
we're speaking with male privilege
You
right
don't
now.
you don't want that, but
Right.
hey, if you do,
Right, we're speaking with male privilege by
No.
saying that, though. To be fair, right?
right.
Silly point.
No, I'm speaking as a personal person. That's not no. I'm saying I would not care.
Most men
Maybe
don't.
that is a male privilege that we're able to not care.
Right.
Is that the
That is our greatest gift, not caring. I mean, our ability to not
Is
care
not
about
caring,
stuff
yeah.
is truly immense. You know, to literally not give a
that is
shit
true?
is really colossal.
And yeah, because I'm
Epic.
always trying to make sure I kind of keep that in mind. But yeah, I guess we are just privileged to be able to be like, yeah, I don't give a shit. But
Right.
a woman could be like, would probably be harassed by people in our demographic because all the other white dudes
Right.
are assholes.
Exactly.
For the most part, it's just
Right.
we're doing a pretty good clip of
Super,
it.
Super J says that our ability to not give a crap is our most impressive attribute of the male
Yeah.
species,
I
which is
mean,
true. And actually, it typically infuriates our romantic partners. Doesn't that bother you?
That is
Meh. There's nothing worse than if your female romantic partner says, "Oh my God, aren't you so enraged at that?" and you go, "Eh." Surefire way to start a fight. Guaranteed.
I have been in many situations where there is, for example, clutter, and it's like,
Yes.
isn't this driving you crazy?
No.
And I'll be like, no,
No,
I don't care.
wrong, and that's
And
the
then-
wrong answer.
5 months later, isn't this still driving you crazy? Be like, no, it wouldn't
Don't
be here
know.
if it was.
It wouldn't be here.
It's
Exactly.
fine.
It wouldn't be here if it was a
And-
problem.
And that is absolutely the wrong answer.
Yes. Yes.
I will. I can attest.
Confirmed.
So
Myth busted.
yes, myth, but yeah. So
Yeah.
but yeah, Donovan, I think
Anyway,
you're
Don,
good, man.
yeah, you're
Like,
good, dude.
Go ahead.
If you're a female, if you happen to be a female watching this again, you have to be a little more concerned about your safety. Not fair, but it is what it is. You have to go male friend.
Bring a male friend.
Bring a
yeah,
male
if
friend.
you can.
So.
Yeah.
And then you have to be okay with your male friend seeing you naked.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely more. Like, it would be fair to say there's absolutely more variables involved that you have to take into account than Donovan has to.
Right.
So for Donovan, I can go there, get your 20 grand and your cashier's check. That's awesome. Just
Exactly.
make sure you deposit it less than $10,000 at a time, because otherwise it will be.
It'll flag on
Report
the
to the
IRS.
IRS.
Exactly. Way to
Yep.
do it.
That's a
I would
little extra
insist
tip
on
for you.
multiple $9,000 checks. 9999.
Exactly. Well, though, even those will get flagged if they're closed. So you do
That's
things
true.
like, and you don't do exact. You do like 9,200 and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
8975. Stuff like that.
All right, as we're talking about how
I
to
mean,
be
I
a
think.
how to
I mean,
be
I
a,
saw it in the movie.
Right.
I mean, I read it in a book.
how
I
to
mean,
be a
I did
tax
it.
dodger.
I mean,
There we go. Okay, next comes from Matt from
what's the next question?
Owensboro, Kentucky. I've never been to Owensboro,
Nice.
Kentucky. This is Matt. Matt started his first full-time job, and every morning, even though I get good sleep, I'm still exhausted and can't stand getting up. My parents tell me I'll just get used to it. Over time, my body will adjust. I was the same way in college when I had 8 a.m. classes, never truly adjusting to waking up. My parents even wake up early in the days off, and I'm like, how? I want to become a morning person so I don't have to struggle so much getting up and getting ready. Is this even possible to change? If so, how? Matt wants to be a morning person.
Okay, so the normal advice people give is suck it up, Buttercup, but I will not, because there is actually so much research into this. Because what they're talking about is every person has a chronotype, which is essentially like your sleep pattern, and it's
Yes.
it's the amount of like morningness or eveningness that it's how your body basically adapts to like wakefulness and sleep, and it's really a combination of like genetic factors and then like certain environmental stuff and like your circadian rhythms and all that stuff. As someone, it actually is difficult to change your chronotype, but you can adapt to it, or so you'll never, if you're not a morning person, you'll probably never become one, but you can do certain things to like try to make it not so rough on yourself. And chronotypes also change as you age, so that's one of the things with like even like little kids wake up super early, and then they're teenagers and they're sleeping because of the long, and then old people are like they don't they're up at 4 a.m. So
Right.
it's so the answer is no,
Yeah.
cannot change.
Super J says she's a night owl. I am also a night owl, so I am very aware of how that works. But yeah, but you're not always locked into your chronotype, right? Or sometimes you
No, you're not
straddle
necessarily
the
locked
two. It's
into
not
it,
binary.
but it is a real thing because there
No
there is
question.
something
No
that
question.
for a while people were like, yeah, no, one adapts, and it's like, no. There's the most common chronotype is called the bear, and it literally means your circadian rhythms respond to when the light rises,
Exactly.
that's when you wake, and when the darkness comes, you get tired.
That's
Like
Mrs.
that's the
Vanguard.
most common
That's
one.
Mrs. Vanguard.
But then there's
She's a bear.
the larks and the night owls, which are like, and then the intermediates, which are like the extremes of like either
Right.
of those.
Right, exactly. I mean, the best thing you could do, like I said, is set consistent go to bed times. Give yourself the adequate amount of sleep. And when you get up, just get up, force yourself awake. Try to get through your day. You'll be tired by the end. Fall asleep at your bedtime. You'll eventually have some manner of adjustment. But to Greenpants' point, if this is your locked-in chronotype, it will be extremely difficult. But welcome to the working world where you have to wake up for your job and be there on time. So,
What so I'm in a situation where if I sit down
Yes.
anywhere for any length of time, I can fall asleep almost instantly.
that's an amazing gift. You are
I think
blessed by
it's
the gods.
called exhaustion,
Or narcolepsy.
is what I
maybe.
think. I think it's just exhaustion. No, narcolepsy. No, it's more of like if it's basically my body will take any chance to get sleep if it's given that chance, and so I have to like keep moving around all the time because otherwise I will literally like I will sit in front and like start watching the credits to a movie and just fall asleep.
Yeah.
And be like, I couldn't watch Dune. I fell asleep 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Could not keep my interest.
Oh my goodness.
um
Yes, but consistent. Your best bet, Matt, and you got to learn this about your own body, is try consistent sleep and wake times. Make sure you're getting the proper amount of hours. Make sure you get the right amount of hours, because some people are like, "Oh, well,
Right.
I got my 7.5 hours." You might be a 9.5 hour need person. That's a thing that's
Right.
real. You know what I mean?
Right, like the 8-hour thing is kind of like a general
The average.
idea, but and it is true, as you get older, you typically need less, and so at 25, you're still, you're not, you don't need 12 hours of sleep, but uh, try to just, you go to bed earlier, just get that but then especially if you have a job where you have to be there at 8, that's just, you have to adapt.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
And I would recommend
it can be made easier.
yes,
you know.
it can. And I would recommend exercise when you first wake up. The blood pumping.
Right.
Do a quick 15-20
Thank
minute
you.
workout
Immediately have sex. First thing
immediately.
you do every morning.
But not
and
with
then, go about your day.
yes, but not with what's his name, Gordon from Fairbanks' wife, or
Right.
unless
Well,
you're
that's not
unless you're the one guy
situation.
she's attracted to.
What we don't know enough about
We don't
Gordon's
know.
situation.
We
Really.
don't know about
like
Gordon.
I mean, we don't. I mean, we'll see.
Oh my
I am
goodness.
what I'm hopeful is that we get a question in soon from Fairbanks, Alaska, from someone who has a boyfriend who she doesn't find attractive, but they're getting married.
And Gordon's fiance.
And I know I want to see.
I think that'd be
Fairbanks,
fantastic.
there's like 30,000 people there. It's not super
Not
small,
huge.
but not super
Actually, the
huge.
odds are not that
No.
gigantic. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Fairbanks.
We'll see.
We will see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I
But
mean,
but Matt,
we're
that's the thing.
extremely popular in Fairbanks. So
Yes, we are. We're actually one of the top rated shows in Fairbanks. I believe. I found out actually.
yes.
Fairbanks viewers, thank you for
Yeah,
your loyalty.
most of actually Alaska in general, but like the
Alaska
Fairbanks
loves us for
area
some
and
reason. I don't know
Anchorage,
why.
no, yeah.
That's fantastic.
I think we provide warmth from the cold.
in many ways.
You know.
So Matt, so that's
Warm hearts and
the
minds.
gist. Try to figure out how many hours you need, and then try to set your consistent sleep and wake times. And then if that doesn't work, try exercise in the morning. If that doesn't work, I don't want to advocate for the coffee, but it works for a lot of people. The morning brew can help as well.
Right. Yes. Or you can do the healthy thing and just pound like 3 or 4 Monster Energy
I
drinks.
would not do that. That is not good for
because
your heart
those-
health,
Those have
heart disease.
the carbohydrates you need, the electrolytes. There's
good.
electrolytes.
Good luck, Matt. Good luck. So try those things. Let us know how it goes. So good luck. So you get a
good luck,
decent night's
Matt.
sleep. I hate getting up in the morning too, but I do it and I just bitch all day. And then I take like an hour nap in the afternoon. I feel better.
Oh yeah, I can't see like when I fall asleep and then sort of wake up, I feel worse.
You feel
So I'm
fucked
sort of
up?
like
Yeah, no, I'm okay with
trying
it.
not to make myself, fall
Got it.
asleep. So if
Got
I
it.
can just get through the whole day and then lay down, it's like boom, then I'm out, and then, you know, 8 hours later, the my chamber opens back up and the propofol wears off, and like Michael Jackson, I arise.
Yikes. Just watched a special on
But
him,
is it?
by the way. It was kind of. Anyway, our next question, Alyssa from St. Paul, Minnesota. Alyssa says, I make cookies for a living that I sell at farmers market and craft fairs in Minnesota. Minnesota, as they say there. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Oh.
I was debating spending about $5,000 on kitchen upgrades this year, but do you think people will be more guarded with money this year and not spend on unnecessary things like artisanal cookies? With the state of America, I'm wondering if I should hold off on upgrades. I think it may be a tough year for bakers, says Alyssa.
Hey, hi, hey, Alyssa. It's gonna be a tough year for all of us.
Everybody.
Okay.
True.
Not that I don't appreciate baking. I'm just saying that I don't think the bakers are going to be more or less fucked than the rest of us. So you have excellent company.
That's true, but that does not change the fact that if she should invest in a personal business time.
I say no.
Okay.
I think right at this very moment things are tumultuous, to say the least. We have a populace that has voted in that is essentially their entire platform is being programmed to believe that DEI is taking away their guns and truck nuts.
But
so,
they still like cookies.
We have problems right now.
They still like cookies.
Right, but there's no way they are paying for artisanal cookies.
Maybe not.
That's the thing. There's just no way. There's no MAGA hats and truck nuts and artisanal cookies in Minnesota. No way.
Alyssa, I would say the thing is like it's not about the. I mean, maybe partially. I honestly don't think it's going to be substantially worse if you were going to start a cookie business. That this is necessarily the worst year to do it compared to a year from now. Honestly, right?
She's already got the business. It's more of like, is it worth,
right?
Like,
is it worth trying to grow?
Economic
and more about the conditions. I would ask like you need to understand in St. Paul what's your addressable market. You know what I mean? Could you actually sell enough cookies to make up $5,000 with the marketing outreach and venues that you have access to? You know what I mean? That's the real thing that's going to hit your bottom line, right? Like, are you going to be able to get your cookies in front of enough people to make that money back? So figure that out. And if the answer is then yes, then I think as good a time as any, to do.
Well, Vanguard's obviously taking the more practical approach. I look more on the cynical side of things, and
got the bright
everything
side
is
of
bad.
life.
Just curl up in the fetal position
and just suck on your
sob in
thumb
the
and just sob in the shower.
You just sob in a shower stall like all of us do. And
the water just
we've all got
all
that
been
half
there.
hour every day when we curl into the fetal position and we just let the water fall in us and we just sob and say why. We all do it. It's fun.
I don't do
we
that.
all do it every
I don't
day.
do- no, I don't do
Every
that.
day we do it. All of us together every day do it is something that happens in this country.
Every day.
Every day.
Everyone every day.
Not just
You're using a lot of water. All right. Anyway, yeah, so that's my thing, Alyssa. Figure out your business case, right? If you're gonna run it, it seems like right now you're a dabbler, and now you want. Well, you say you make a living, so it's like, yeah, be selling a decent number of these things.
I mean, she calls herself a baker in terms of like that sounds
Right.
like this is a business, and so she's just investing money in the business.
And
I guess it sort of depends on like what is it to make more? Like, are you going to be able to sell more? Yeah, it really does get down to the business plan.
right. And will you bake other items? That kind of thing. And is there really a market for that? What are the competing bakeries in the area? Could you partner with them? Would you wind up competing with them? You know what I mean? So you got to approach this from the business perspective about what your options are.
Right, like, are cookies more popular in Minnesota than they would be like in like? I'm wondering if baked goods are more popular in like northern climes with colder weather.
I think so.
But
I believe that sugar.
Although, yeah, everything in the south is generally larger. But yeah, I mean, perhaps. So yeah, I say she can, either way that she wants to go. But the world is a little bit nuts right now, and just keep that in mind.
I don't like nuts in my cookies. But yes.
Well, because for example, if we have a trade war with Canada and she's in Minnesota, it could get violent for her. I'm just saying. We don't know. I don't know what bakers are going to be doing. I mean, we were always friends, and now I don't know.
Oh, things are
Is
all
it American
sketchy.
cheese or a Canadian single? What do we call it? They had, it's like Tim Hortons or Dunkin'. What's happening?
Single.
Like, you gotta, pick sides here. So
Yep.
you might be. I'm just saying you might be asked to pick sides very soon. And when you do, choose Canada.
Go Canada every time.
If you're in Minnesota, it's like,
Yes.
they're up there.
So
Seem
Alyssa,
nice.
ask those questions about what
Save
you think
yourself.
what you think your addressable market is for your business, right? And then make your decision based on that, right? I don't think you can. If you always second guessed the political climate, you wouldn't never do anything.
That is true.
I'll maintain
That
that
is true.
statement. So
But I would argue it is especially fraught at the moment.
sure,
in ways-
uncertainty is what is uncertainty.
Right.
Right.
Well, so we're certainly fucked. But
That we're certain
yeah.
about.
all right. What's
Oh
question
my
5?
goodness. Question 5 is from Ariana from Austin, Texas. Ariana says,
Okay.
"This is embarrassing to admit, but my boyfriend prays after we smash." Oh, back to the smashing term. I like that.
Oh, smash! Nice.
We're not even engaged, and he is thanking God for our activities. It's this strange disconnect between the intensely physical and deeply spiritual. 1 minute we're all tangled up, and the next he's kneeling by the bed, whispering prayers of thanks to his God. It's like a
Oh my
perfectly
God.
good romantic moment. Suddenly gets really weird, unexpected religious twist. I tried to talk to him about it casually at first, but his explanations haven't really satisfied me. He says it's just a way of expressing gratitude, but it still feels a little much. What should I do? Ariana, you're clearly fantastic in bed if the guy's praying for how good it is. So, go you.
I mean, yes. First of all, yes. Give Ariana her flowers.
She's
Or yes, that she's mad props to you. But I would say it is not a little much. It's a lot fucking nuts. I think it's important to remember just the scientific proof. Religion ruins everything always. Like that's like I think when we discovered that like 2,000 years ago, like that's just
Right.
it's sort of and that's evidenced by the fact that after you give your boyfriend an orgasm, he feels the need to thank his
The invisible
triple
fairy guy in the
Father,
sky.
Son, Holy Ghost, Clover Fairy,
Yes.
with wings and chubby babies with harps in the sky. Like
Yes.
that's crazy. That's insane. I mean, he should be thanking you.
Correct.
Like, I mean, think about if this was anyone else. I mean, what if he was thanking like his mom for having him? You'd be like, oh
Right.
my God, that's
Thank you,
that's
Mom.
great.
Thank you, Mom, for having me, so I could have had
Thank
sex
you.
right now.
I
you
enjoyed
for
that
that.
so much, Mom.
That
That
was
was
great.
awesome. I did. Hold on, Rebecca. It's like, yeah, Ariana, but yeah.
Yeah, I would not have children with this man. I would not marry this fellow.
No. The reason his explanations don't satisfy you is because there are no reasonable explanations.
They're
for
kind
what
of
he is
nonsensical, right?
doing. There is. So, Ariana, listen. There is nothing that he can say about what he is doing. Okay, nothing that he can say about what he is doing
Yeah.
that does not directly relate to a psychotic break. Okay? In which case, it might involve a nice hospital stay in a room with muted colors.
No.
padded walls.
If you could commit people for being pious, then 40% of
Pious?
America would be in jail. Yes.
Bias? Like, that's... Okay,
Yes.
first of all, let's just call it nuts. Can we please?
Okay. First,
Can we-
let's settle on some terminology.
Yes, okay.
First,
I don't...
nuts.
I mean, I understand but even in like Christian doctrine, prayer is supposed to be a private thing.
That
like a
is
private
true, too.
relationship. If
Spot
you're
on.
having sex and you immediately are like, hold
Must
up,
pray.
I'm thanking God in front of you for that. That's weird, and that's not even typical.
Hey, you know what? That's
even
weird
prayer
because
is
I have
supposed to
seen
be.
people. No one's prayed after sex with me, but I have seen people pray, blessing their food for meals
True.
in front of other people. I guess that's legit.
Right.
I don't know. There's a lot of sub rules and stuff.
That
Different
well,
sects.
right. I think, but that's different in the. I mean, think about in this case, it's like this is an intimate act between one person and another,
Mhm.
as opposed to like the saying of like a prayer, that's a lot of times just a cultural thing that just happens when you're at. And so if that happens at a meal I'm at, I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Right.
It's like someone's just saying words. But I'm saying if you had an intimate like interaction with someone, and then their first thing was to be like, nice, wait, let me go over here and thank my imaginary friend.
Right. For this
For that.
great sex, because that was awesome.
Right. It just it feels that's weird. I don't know any, there's no combination of strongly held beliefs or whatever that you could put words in an order together that made it be like, yeah, he's just thankful, he just loves his buddy Jesus, and Jesus is his wingman.
And Jesus gave him
Jesus
woman.
is his wingman, and Jesus got him laid.
Jesus
Ariana,
got him laid.
Jesus brought you to him.
Yes.
Okay? So he's got to do that. No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Please break up with this man.
Because
Because it sounds like you're great at sex, and there is absolutely someone out there that will appreciate it and will not pray after.
And will not
or
pray-
at least will pray to you.
Pray to you. Exactly. As it should be.
Right.
It's like-
Exactly. Much more appropriate. Not weird at all.
Oh lordy, yeah. No, I have to tend to agree. It's especially if it
I love it when
concerns.
you have to agree with me. I know you don't like it,
Well,
but
we
when you have to,
typically
it's like,
have different
begrudgingly.
perspectives on a lot of things. It's true, but
I think we come down in the same area. It's just the way that we get there.
I suppose so. But yeah, but and Ariana, the fact that we're presuming that the fact that it bothers you that religion is not very important in your life, right? So I think that it's fundamentally if you are pretty not religious and are with someone who is very religious, that is not a good recipe for a successful relationship. One of you is not willing to meet the other in the middle.
I think even if
Long-term
they're both
relationship.
like normal religious, this
Yes.
is still weird. Like
Yes.
this is extra.
Yeah, but
Like-
but doing that is not normal religious. Praying after, right? Just praying to God for
Right, is what I'm saying is like praying after is not like something like, oh yeah, well that's something that religious people do. No, that's something
Yeah.
people do. And
Right.
if they do that, that's weird
Right.
to me. And my opinion is what matters
right.
here.
Well, it's been asked for, so there you
Yes.
go. You
I
should give
have
it.
I have this microphone,
When you
and
are-
white males don't have their voice enough on the internet. We never get to speak.
When you are asked, you must provide.
You're so silenced.
You must give what is being requested. Yes. Yeah. Sorry, that's our take. This is not good. Maybe think about calling off with this guy.
But,
I hate to be the breakup king here, but
Because because she's called it out to him and said, hey, yeah, you're doing this stuff, and he's just like, but he feels the need that he has to do it.
right. He's like, of course I
Like,
do. Right.
And so he's kind of like, I'm just being grateful. I'm being gracious. Like, no, hey, buddy, you're on your knees thanking God right after you come. Can we have a conversation about this? I don't want to hear about it. You're just thankful person.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah.
What's happening over
Right,
there?
right.
What are you saying? I'm in the room. That's rude.
I'm gonna deep dive
know?
this. Exactly. That's what I was about to say. I'm gonna deep dive this a little bit. The fact that he does it right in front of her is
Right.
not by accident, right?
No.
He could easily excuse himself to the bathroom and pray in the bathroom, right? If that's really what he needs to do.
Also weird, but still
Also
better.
weird, but exactly, right? This is like I mean, it almost seems like it's a very like passive, subtle, like control thing, being like, this is where your life's heading if you stay with me. This is important to me. I need you on board with this kind of thing.
It could be. I mean, or it could also be he's like, he's another person that is confused about like what is expected of him in his religion and probably feels weird about sex, and so he's made up some sort of rule in his head that if I thank God after I have sex, it's now okay. Like that could easily be it too.
But he's praying for thankfulness, not forgiveness. He could be praying for forgiveness.
Who the hell knows what he's doing? What he's doing is he's not just resting up so he can bang Ariana
Again, right?
He's stopping everything.
No.
He's not doing he's not doing his duty. He's not
doing his duty.
not. He should be at least cuddling something, showing affection. I mean, if anything,
Kisses
like
on
what's
the
his
forehead.
post-coital game?
Kiss
His
her on the
post-coital
forehead.
game is prayer. That
Snuggle
is
her up.
fucking bullshit. Sorry, hot take, but I'll be the one to
Snuggle
say
up.
it.
Have her in
Greenhands
the-
has
have
always
her in
said
the- laying on top of
post-coital
you.
prayer.
Right out.
Always just.
Here's what we think of postcoital prayer.
Yeah, I am quite frankly, post-coital vocal prayer.
Yes.
I am against.
Against. I have to say nay on that.
Yeah,
Yeah, Ariana, the more
No,
I
it
think
feels weird. That's out there.
it's probably time to move on. It seems like you are
Yep.
theologically incompatible, unfortunately.
Right. But you're very good at sex,
I-
and congratulations.
like-
And again, like that's you're doing something right. So keep that up.
We applaud you.
With someone less, someone who's more respectful of you and will
Yes.
show you the
Right. It doesn't.
the
It doesn't.
thankfulness that you deserve.
The props the props you should be getting is going to some other dude. It's like,
Right,
what's
exactly.
that about?
Who's this guy? Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
Lordy. All right. What do we got next?
And
Oh, speed
speed
rounds.
round.
Speed rounds.
Speed round, and you are up today, friend.
Shit.
So,
All right. I don't know if I'm prepared.
well, I don't know. Do whatever sort of like mental gymnastics that you need to prep yourself. for
Unless I
this.
got to program a
But
timer.
they're going to come at you fast and hot.
That's the thing with this,
And
right? It's I
butter.
got to be prepared for this, so I got to think.
Yep.
I got to get into that open Zen state and just kind of say what
Well, this is what you do. Remember, you do this.
I do.
This
I
is
shake
what
it
you do.
out. I shake
Yep,
it out. I
yep,
shake
you
it
shake
out.
it out. Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna start the timer when Green Pants finishes reading the first question, and I'll have 1 minute to answer these 5 speedrun questions. I am as prepared
Yes.
as I could be, so hit me.
So, are you ready now? What law would you introduce to the world if you had a chance to make one?
Oh Lord, I would ban short selling of stocks.
How low would the price of eggs have to be for you to agree to vote for a rapist for president?
I will pay $1,000 for a dozen eggs before I would do such a thing.
What setting from a comic book or movie do you wish that you could live in real life?
Ooh, Star Trek. Star Trek.
What is the worst Supreme Court decision to come out of our country's currently corrupted clown car of a judiciary?
Dobbs.
And what streaming provider currently has the highest quality garbage to watch?
Yeah. Does YouTube Cat is a streaming provider?
Yes, it does.
Okay,
We're on YouTube.
yeah,
that is the correct answer.
Yeah, ding, 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 ding. All right, so good.
Ding,
So I
ding,
got
yeah.
it.
Very well
And-
done.
And yeah, there's much good on YouTube, but there's also so much not good.
That's what it's highest quality garbage.
Yeah.
And listen, there's a lot out there,
Yeah.
but like you
Yeah.
can find,
Oh, yeah.
just in sheer comment, like, I mean, Netflix gave us Tiger King, and that
Right.
YouTube can't take that away. But you know what? You can watch Tiger King on YouTube now.
You
so
can. Yeah.
eventually it's always going to go to YouTube, regardless.
Joe Exotic guy. Yeah,
Uh,
crazy. So what did I say?
yeah.
So yes. So YouTube, I think we're pretty in agreement on that, right? Because it's just, I mean, there's
Yeah,
there's great
I'm-
good that can come out of like unleashing the masses at basically broadcasting media, but you also get a lot of bad.
I like your short selling of stock.
Yes, because here's why.
Why-
Because it's literally like whoever short
Betting
sells
against.
stock, you're right. Whoever's watching this, if you short sell stock, honestly, fuck you, because you are literally betting against humanity, right? So companies are trying to succeed. You might not agree with the company's goods or products, but someone is trying to build something to better humanity, and you are betting against
What
them.
if it's GameStop stock?
It doesn't
And
matter.
you're trying to get rich because
Right.
while they
That's
it
what
just
they
goes
did.
rapidly up and down.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what people did. No, if you short sell stock, screw you. Seriously, it's like you are part of the problem.
Okay.
Honestly, I feel strongly about that one. What was yours? What was your? law?
For me, if I don't know if it would be a law, but like, fuck you and your strongly held beliefs. Like, I don't want to have to necessarily respect that, because almost all the time someone has strongly held beliefs, at the same time they are also like racist, bigoted,
Right.
and normally evil.
And
Like,
obnoxious
I
with
rarely
their beliefs.
find, yeah. I mean, other than like someone who doesn't want to fight in war because they're
Pacifist.
those are situations. But the idea that we just sort of like have to be like, yeah, they strongly believe it, so like we're just gonna let that go, and like the fact that like the fact that we don't tax churches
Right.
is insane.
Yeah.
Like it's just a money laundering
Yeah.
thing that we
There's
have
a
in this
big
country
thing.
that's
This
just-
this is Funny thing that made me think of this is right, very related, is over in Israel, because I know a bunch of people in Israel. They they have mandatory military service there, which means you must serve
Right.
basically, and there's certain requirements about what age, right, at high school for 2 years or something, and then you're in the reserves for a certain amount of time. There is a sect of Judaism, I think it's the Hasidic Jews actually, that are exempt. Okay. So,
Right.
so there they are, people in Israel surrounded by lots of people that want them all dead from the river to the sea, right? And you have people living there at the benefit and expense of the others who are required to and do serve. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
yeah,
Right. It's like, well, why do you get the exact? I mean, yeah.
right.
'Cause
Why do you
there's
get the
one thing I would
privilege
say,
if
like,
you won't?
mandatory conscription is a thing, but it's like, yeah, but listen, that's the deal there.
Right.
Like that's you know what I mean. That it's where you live. If you don't want that deal, then immigrate
Go elsewhere.
somewhere.
Exactly.
I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
you know, yeah. For me, it would be like some sort of, because I think freedom of speech has just gone insane. Where now it's like, yeah, we're allowed to just use disinformation. You can just straight out like create completely false narratives with like no
Right.
consequence of any, like just
Right.
say whatever. Like it's not like. You can't do that in Germany. Like, you can't be like, walking around with swastikas and stuff. They're
Right.
like, no, fucking cut that out. Like,
They frown upon
it's
that.
like-
You will disappear.
right.
If you
Where-
really want to
and it-
disappear, do that in Germany.
I mean,
You will go away.
yeah, or yeah, or just walk into Russia, or yeah, I mean,
Right. Right there, exactly.
but yeah,
The line
some sort of constricture where there at least is like, if there is, it's not just a like for newspapers or whatever, like like the fact that there is, that the only way that there is a consequence is if you actually libel someone. So it takes
Right.
something as bad as like Dominion voting systems or something, where
Correct.
it's such a huge
egregious. Yeah.
egregious act that you're actually, it's like what is it, $750 million,
Yeah.
or like
I laughed my ass off when I read that judgment. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. Crazy. But yeah,
correct
but that's
answer
the
for the
thing.
eggs,
but
by the way, was,
what I was gonna say really quick about that last one is that the
Yep.
what was I gonna say? Shoot. Oh yeah, the line between harm speech has gotten too fuzzy. You know what I mean? Where
right,
that's
between
really
fire and a crowded theater,
Exactly.
whatever that means.
exactly
Yeah.
taken to the extremes
Well,
of saying,
I-
hey, elections don't count. You should be able to march on the Capitol and get your guy elected that you want to get elected. That's
Right.
not true.
Or
Or if you're the
or
vice
just
president, you can
having
decide what
entire-
votes not to count.
I mean, having entire media networks that are literally
Blatantly lie. Yeah.
like that are constructed around one particular political party,
Yes.
and like that is their entire narrative for
Mouthpiece, right.
not only their news but also their most watched shows, which are their talk news shows, which these basically are just White House talking points that they just say over and over.
Yes.
Like it's just it's just an extension of the Republican Party. Like
Right.
that's insane that we have that, and we're just like,
Yes.
yeah, freedom of speech.
Like,
and
oh,
they're the ones
news.
that complain,
Right.
that are like, yeah, man, the liberal media. It's like,
Right. It's
fuck
like,
out of your
you're
mind.
the media. What the fuck are you talking about? Exactly.
The
Exactly.
Washington Post wouldn't let the editorial board post a like tell me, yeah, it's like, yeah, the liberal media.
That hit me pretty hard to watch that, because I touch faith in the Post, but
Yeah, well, I mean, they're owned by Jeff Bezos.
I know,
mean, like
I know.
That's
but
when
he
you
seemed
have
he seemed so hands off to that point. You know what I mean? He seemed like he believed in go find your truth. I'm just gonna be over here.
Right,
You know
but
what I mean?
they all show their true.
They all
At
show
one
the true
point,
colors.
people
I know.
thought Elon Musk was a good person.
I know.
Like that was a thing, like
Yeah.
way long ago. I don't mean like they didn't realize he was like literally just an evilly deranged,
Yeah.
South African
Mentally
emerald miner.
disturbed.
Um,
Yes, I'm a minor.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
deeply, deeply messed up.
Anyway, what were you saying about the the eggs?
Well, the eggs, the answer is free eggs for life
Yes.
would not get you to vote for a fucking rapist. No eggs are worth that. I
Right.
don't care.
I agree.
I'm not even a huge fan of eggs, but you know what? I'd pay a lot more for cake if it meant, some other things would change. I'd be okay with the, and I don't know if you noticed, but eggs are like $8 a dozen now or something. Like they're like way high. Um,
a little ridiculous.
I ordered a roll of stickers that has Donald Trump's picture on it with a finger pointing up that says "I did that," so I can go around when I go grocery shopping and just like put it on the prices of things.
Yeah.
While I'm there with my little scanner, and see if I get caught. It's fun. I like to play games while I shop.
I think it's great. I think it's great.
Worst they can do is take it off. This setting from a comic or book that I live in. I was the first thing I thought of was obviously Star Trek because I would just never leave the holodeck ever.
Right?
Like that, it
constant
would
just, sex scenario. Thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because it's like okay, anything I want, whenever, no consequences. Yep, okay. Yep, I will see you never.
What's gonna clean up the Admiral when I'm done?
The replicator can just make me food and stuff. I'm good. Like I got everything I need, literally by definition, because it's a holodeck. Like,
go anywhere and be anything I want.
You'll think just be like Arch, and then the Arch comes
and you walk out, get the thing you need, make it main a replicator because Star Trek can take atoms and assemble things that you need and want, right? And then.
But the answer I think that is more accurate.
Leave the holodeck.
Come on, would you leave the holodeck? I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, I would never go down planet side. Why? You got a holodeck.
Eaten by a plant. A giant plant would eat you.
Yeah. No, I'm not wearing that red shirt.
Oh my god. Okay, so anyway, your real answer though is.
Is actually the culture from Ian Banks. I don't know if Ian Banks is a British sci-fi author, and
I know.
He has he has a series of books called it's basically The Culture, and it's science fiction, but it's a post-scarcity society.
Oh, okay.
So it's a post-scarcity society where anything can happen and everything is sort of ruled by AI, but they're like benevolent gods. So like humanity has basically been like, okay, we don't have to worry about resources anymore, and all of our daily needs and stuff are just controlled by these benevolent AIs. So people are just free to do whatever they want as long as it doesn't
hurt other people.
As long as it doesn't like hurt other people or use some crazy amount of resources.
I see.
Like, but like, and so you can just do every hobby, anything that you'd ever want, which is why those books often take the people of the culture, like the stories often have to do with like people not in the culture interacting with them because they're in such a but like if you just actually lived within that society where they're literally like, yeah, they don't have to worry about anything, you can do whatever they want always. It's like the holodeck, except
like real.
Not except real. So yeah, I'll go with that. Okay, otherwise, cool. Holodeck for life.
Holodeck.
Carry me in the holodeck. I don't, it's like, I mean,
what else do we have?
The Supreme Court decision,
Dobbs, yeah.
Because it's like
where's the presidential immunity? It's Trump versus U.S., right? Was that the presidential immunity one?
Right.
Okay.
I would argue Citizens United, because
it's up
Citizens
there.
United in 2010. Sure. That is what introduced like money into politics.
It opened
like, that
the
was
floodgates.
Literally it was literally the Supreme Court, the most activist decision ever. Like from a lot of law professors, it's like and is widely kind of considered the worst, most non-constitutional decision ever made by any Supreme Court, saying corporations are people, and corporations have money, and so corporations can spend money, and so by them just conflating that and making it so there is because that all started with that anti-Hillary Clinton documentary that was going on. I mean, that's what started up the entire thing. And the Supreme Court was like, yeah, no, you know what?
Cool.
If it's a PAC, spend as much money as you possibly want. It's speech. It's corporate speech.
Yeah.
I mean, I read the press releases that come out from my company. I don't agree with them.
Right.
And I really hope that my voice is not counted in that speech.
Yeah.
It's just.
I was just double checking. It was a 5-4 decision.
Yep. Well, I would I would argue that if Citizens United hadn't happened, Trump would never have happened. Like, so many different things would never have happened. The Supreme Court would not be the way.
I wouldn't say
that,
there wasn't big
that,
money. There wasn't big money, big dark money in campaigns before Citizens United. There were ways that people did it. You know what I mean?
There were ways that people did it, but there wasn't. Where we're in this last election cycle, where it's literally the point of Congress is for them to package up news segments that can be played on Fox News. Like, that's what happens in Citizens United. In that 14-year period, that was like net. But now people will literally are literally speaking to an empty chamber in order to. That's where, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene or whatever is like saying whatever her nonsense is. It's literally just like prepackaged and put into a Fox News thing to then, you know, sell a mess. It's all. I mean, the fact that Elon Musk has just been called his own government agency because he's Elon Musk. Like, right. That is why we can't have. I mean,
can't have nice things, basically.
I mean, like, none of this should happen. Like, if the money were out of this stuff, because that's what Russia is basically. It's like, take all the money from the people, give it to like this bunch of oligarchs, and they just run everything like a fucking mafia.
Right.
Like that sounds great if you're a oligarch, I guess, you know. Right. Dobbs is definitely
I still think
like
Dobbs.
A gut punch. It's like Dobbs, but
Dobbs v. Jackson, right? That was
only because my argument is I really think Citizens United, a lot of
I understand enabled a lot of that. No, I understand. My like,
I just don't think Roe would ever have been overturned if it wasn't for the fact that we got all screwed up.
No, understood. And obviously my reason for picking Dobbs was because it was the Supreme Court deciding there are first class and second classes. Women are second classes.
I mean, it's.
And that you don't have the same rights that bodily autonomy a man does. So, welcome, ladies.
And literally the first time they've taken away a right.
Yes.
Like, as something that they had. It's like, no, now you don't have that anymore because, again, religion ruins everything always. Okay? Because honestly, if you don't, like, there would be no argument for it. If there wasn't the religious right doing the whole, like, fetal heartbeat nonsense, biblical stuff, like, this isn't an issue in a life. It's not a thing. I mean, that's why it's the fact that we allow, you know, again, it's like strongly held beliefs. It's like now it's controlling, like, women's bodily autonomy because of these strongly held, ridiculously stupid Bronze Age backwards beliefs. Fuck you.
Correct.
But I don't have a strong feeling one way or the other, really. You know.
I mean, I do, but, you know, who the hell listens
I take
to
it
me?
either way, you know.
That one surprised me. It was ridiculous. And the thing is, too, it's like, I don't know, there's no precedent for it, and it's like, you know, despite what we say about all our laws and checks and balances and blah, 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 it's like, those...
We say a lot of things.
I know, but those Supreme Court nominees...
We say we have, like, the best judicial system in the world, like...
Which... Sadly, it probably is. That's the worst part of this whole thing. But those Supreme Court nominees were directly asked, like, would you overturn Roe v. Wade? And like, it's settled law. We would not revisit it. You know what I mean? Like, under oath. Right. You're under oath when you get screened by Congress. You know, damn, right? So they perjure themselves. Basically, the Supreme Court
but there's no consequences.
There's no recourse. Right, and that's the problem. There's because no ethics issues.
And how dare you ask?
How dare I ask?
How dare you ask?
Oh wait, I heard there could be somebody at the door right now.
Did you not hear?
I heard the Supreme Court does this.
They will fly whatever flag they want.
Perjure
and it was
themselves.
Their wife's decision.
And they are sitting on that bench, breaking the law. Is what they've done. They perjure themselves. Like, damn. You know.
To me,
didn't matter.
To me, Citizens United. The reason I almost think of it's like, because I just thought of that quote, like, Boss Tweed from Tammany Hall.
Yes.
His thing was, I don't care who votes as long as I get to pick the nominations.
Yeah.
And that is what Citizens United made, like, a first stage and second stage. So the people don't. So basically, money is what decides who is going to be the candidates, and then once they are picked, then the elector, you know, you get to choose, but. That's where all of the because when Citizens, that's where it basically became a thing where you could just say, I'm going to primary you, if you agree with this, and the reason I can do that is because I can just create a super PAC and I can put $500 million
Right.
into a super PAC
Right.
that is designed specifically to say that you are a pedophile.
Right.
And we're allowed to say that because nothing matters anymore.
Right.
So you can just put that out there and be like, "Did you know that?" And it's like,
Bum,
but
bum,
what if it's
bum.
not true?
Hard hitting
you know.
political ad, yes.
Yeah, and
You know.
people are like, "What?" And then that's it. Like, I'm saying it. Citizens United, man.
It was pretty bad, no question. No question, it was pretty bad. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So what do we miss? The settings, yeah, we covered it all, dude.
So yeah, the
Still feeling bad for Gordon.
Streaming provider. I will definitely.
YouTube.
I will say YouTube, but
Yeah.
Netflix is second.
Yeah.
Because it had Tiger King
Tiger King, yeah.
and Squid Games.
Go exotic and my son loves Squid Games.
Everyone loves Squid. My wife loves Squid Games.
Did she
Like,
really?
Absolutely. Like, watch the entire
Funny.
second season in whatever it was, 6 hours.
Yeah, whatever it takes,
However
just
long
get it
it
done.
was.
Get it done. yeah.
However the shortest amount of time it could take to
Yeah.
watch is how long she took to watch it.
Funny. How was the
At least
second
it
season?
seemed to me.
I heard it didn't
I
measure
did
up to
not
the
watch
first.
it.
Oh, you didn't watch it? Okay.
I do not watch television anymore.
All
really.
right. Which is crazy because you used to be the
Yeah.
watcher of all media and content.
Yeah. Now we don't
Streaming.
have cable. It's like Severance. It's the only show I think that I am watching. This one.
That-
Very good show. But it's on Apple TV, which is not one that's super popular. So it's like, that's like, it's like Peacock or
Right.
it's
Paramount
just-
Plus. At least Paramount Plus has Star Trek, but yeah,
Well,
Peacock.
Paramount Plus is HBO, so that's Max.
Oh,
So
is that
Paramount Plus
true?
and Max at least.
Uh,
Well, no, they're separated. Yeah, right.
they're
Paramount Plus is separated, but you can. The companies are there's packages that combine them, but yeah, they are separate.
Yeah.
You can have Paramount Plus without Max.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we covered it all.
I think so. I'm still feeling bad for Gordon.
I think Gordon's gonna be okay.
I hope so.
His girlfriend doesn't find him physically attractive. That is a bummer. But again, we don't know all of the backstory for Gordo.
It's true. It's true.
And,
Gordo.
he perhaps it isn't as fraught as maybe Gordon isn't he's not as obsessed with the sex question as some others might be. Let's just say. Whereas you.
Oh.
I mean, I guess but you mainly.
I
You, Vanguard.
yes. It would be a big. It'd be a deal breaker
but-
for me.
But we'll see. Yeah, who knows? But for Gordon, who's to say?
We're pulling for Gordon. We're pulling for all of our questioners today, and we're going to be
Absolutely.
pulling for the next round of 5 questioners next week.
And
So-
I'm really hoping Gordon's girlfriend writes in because I want to see the other side of that story.
That would be epic
So,
if she wrote it.
please,
I would love
Gordon's
to.
girlfriend.
Tell us the deal.
I know you're out there, Fairbanks. Hey, Fairbanks.
Ben's
no,
and Fairbanks.
her.
Find
Uh,
Gordon's fiance and
Yep.
get her to write in.
Um,
This is our mission to you.
Please dox this person. That's what you want.
A bit.
The official position of this show is that we.
Fix a position of okay, seriously. Do not dox anyone.
Fine.
Oh, I'm always ruining the fun. But anyway, yeah. So we're gonna be here next
Hey,
week.
Mom.
We're gonna be here next week at 9:30 Eastern U.S. time. We'll be here Sunday.
Yep.
No, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
9:30
not
Eastern
Sunday.
U.S. time. Tuesday.
Because
1 week from today.
They might see. They're not going to see us. They might
won't
see something
us.
else on your channel.
You will see
but they
something
won't
else.
See,
You
they won't see
us.
me.
That's right.
And that's
Well, it's,
you know.
that's part of the whole thing.
for me to plug Sundays.
But yeah, so come in then. In the meantime, submit your questions. Click the link below, and you'll see you'll be brought to a Google form. Yep, right below Green Pants, where you can fill in the Google form, and you could tell us your question
Yep,
and
it's
your
real
name
easy.
and your town of origin, and we will.
And if you do not fill your town of origin, I will
You would disregard your question,
put you somewhere.
right? And it will not be here.
You will come from somewhere, and you may not like it.
Oh, that's
So-
true. He will put you from somewhere. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, right.
So yes. So
And Green Pants is extremely well traveled, so he will pick the absolute worst place to live in, and will you live in. So
Yep.
please put your true city. You could even
Like
omit your
you,
name.
but fuck Arkansas.
We prefer you to omit your name over your town, but like anonymous from wherever.
Yeah, I normally I strip out the social security numbers
Yes.
before feeding them over to Vanguard.
Yes.
And also the bank accounts and the routing numbers.
That's right.
So
Fantastic. All right, but until next time, Green Pants. Pleasure's always to see you.
For the 52nd time in a row, it has been my honor and pleasure as well.
Time in a row.
Yeah.
Fun to help people.
And there is a
love helping people.
It'll take what? Please don't sing.
People.
That is the sing
We
outro. It's just I
love to
hate it
help
so much.
people.
If you just please
Helping
just turn off the